Alright, family, we need to have a serious discussion about Coinbase. We see a lot falling apart lately with Celsius Network going down. That's over $28 billion in assets that could potentially just be rugged, and we're going to cover that in the next video. We see Binance starting to pause its Bitcoin withdrawals. What other functions are people or holders in Binance going to lose out on next? But what happens if Coinbase falls? Coinbase is by far one of the biggest, and especially in the United States, so this is discounting Binance because Binance does not have full functionality within the United States. So Coinbase, that's the head honcho in US crypto trading, exchanges, holdings, even yielding, because Coinbase, of course, offers yield on a few of their coins like Tezos and Cardano. But what happens if they fall? And that's what we really need to discuss. Because, especially in their terms of service, Coinbase states openly that if Coinbase were to go bankrupt, well, holders in Coinbase may face a permanent loss. Now, this really, it takes us back to an original saying, and I'm shocked that a lot of people I talk to have never heard of this saying until this bear market. Well, let's face it, there's a lot of new people coming into cryptocurrency, and do your own research these days means, well, if you happen to click on the right video and the person you're listening to happens to have the right information, you get lucky. But 99% of the time, people are getting information from friends, sometimes family, or just blatant random people on social media. I guess kind of like myself, but they have something to gain. Maybe they're just trying to sell them an affiliate link or something like that. They have a really good story, a really good rapport with their audience, and people get into it. So they don't actually dig in to what cryptocurrency is, how volatile it can be, and past historical examples of what the market has done. If you were to tell me that this bear market was going to end in a week or two or a month, well, then I'd ask you one question. Well, and that's, hey, how long have you been in crypto? People that have been around for a while realizes that these bear markets and collapses like this, man, they can go on for years. Literally, they can go on for years. So we're kind of just at the tip of the iceberg, or the tip of this falling knife, as many charts across the board are representing right now. So what happens if it keeps going? We already see these exchanges shutting down, turning down functionality, and today, as this video is being released, Coinbase has laid off 1,100 employees. What's next? If Coinbase does go bankrupt, and they also came out and stated that they may not report any profit in the next quarter. That means an influx of shorts are going to be coming in, an influx of people trying to leave their Coinbase positions, as Coinbase is a publicly traded company. We see Coinbase cutting employees. We see Coinbase saying they aren't going to be making a profit. Well, what's next? Well, I think the most logical would be potentially Coinbase cutting some of these high interest yielding coins, or at least pausing functionality. One thing we have seen is Coinbase is starting to liquidate their Bitcoin in an attempt to back up some of these other functions that they offer to their traders. And if that sounds eerily familiar, hint hint, Do Kwon, Luna, not saying that this is exactly the same, but we start to see, even Binance, we start to see companies liquidating their own positions inside of cryptos to maintain their status quo, or to maintain their stability. Well, eventually, they're not going to be able to lay off any more people, and eventually and inevitably, they are going to run out of reserves. You can only liquidate 10, 15,000 Bitcoin until there is no more Bitcoin left in that reserve to keep you going. It seems kind of insane that so many people are ignoring, just because it's a big player, just because they think it's too big to fail, that Coinbase could potentially, and I use the term rug pull lightly because it is something that is in their terms of service. It's something you agree to when you make a Coinbase account, but how many people read the fine print? I know I usually don't, but in these cases, and especially in these times, it's important to dig through the terms of service and the terms of agreement that you sign when you go into any of these platforms. Because it is very, very true that if Coinbase does, and of course I hope it doesn't, for your sake, for my sake, for friends and family's sake. I hope it doesn't, but if it does, Coinbase could liquidate their assets. And again, if it is not your keys, it is not your crypto. On Coinbase, we do not own the private keys to any of our cryptocurrency we have bought, sold, traded, or are currently holding on Coinbase. You can think of it, we're kind of holding a ledger. We're holding a stock certificate or bond that says you have X amount of shares in Coinbase, but are being held by Coinbase. Which means that at any point in time, if Coinbase liquidates its own assets, they will be liquidating people's shares, or that ledger that says you have one Bitcoin in Coinbase. Well, Coinbase liquidates their Bitcoin. Well, now Coinbase doesn't have that one Bitcoin. Think of you putting cash dollars into a savings account, and then for some reason that bank goes broke. Yeah, I know. There's insurance. Say a bank gets robbed, there's insurance that will insure your money. But let's just imagine a bank that you're holding your money in gets robbed and insurance is out of the picture. That money is literally just gone. The bank has lost the money, but the bank has lost the money that you are holding in it. A lot of these exchanges, especially Celsius, again, we will go in depth on Celsius in the next video. So if you haven't already, subscribe, notification bell, generic pitch. It doesn't cost you anything, but it really does help out the channel. So I appreciate all of you that have been here, especially throughout the years, constantly trying to put this information out. So just be careful. That is the message I want to put out, because Coinbase could fall. They're going down that slippery slope. They're laying off employees. They're liquidating assets. They're bringing to light this terms of service, and many others around them are doing it as well. So is it probable? No. Is it possible? Yes. Just keep that in mind. Always stay safe, family. Keep on hustling and always stay profitable.